So we'll do this one more time. I'll give you an explanation for the multiple holographic timelines. That's fun to say. Of how this story gets told through the media and what it has to do with the pending civil war and the solar eclipse and what energy is and what Vegas is and what building your Vegas, it's called your Vegas nerve. It's an energy portal, and this is what it is all over the plane, all over the existence. This happens every day, everywhere, at all times, but it's just more of a hyper aware thing for people to look at because they make an event out of it. It's 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 having an orgasm. It's a fighting, like what you can do with physicality. Let me try explaining it this way, and then we'll get into the levels of it and how how I think we can figure out what might happen in the fight. Um, you can build up energy in your body, and you can use it effectively to be Shiva or Shakti. You can create or destroy. You can fight with it, or you can make love with it. You can do what they do in a ring as what would be called acts of violence, vile, evil. Although it's just a show, we have to. The whole thing is a show to build up energy into a system, and their system is always related to um, acquiring not, acquiring energy. The whole system runs on energy, and they get that by people's focus. Now, with the eclipse that just happened, there was a great amount of focus on something. Now there's this huge fight that's happening, and there's this hurricane that's happening, and Floyd Mayweather. Watch my other video. I'm not going to go through all of the name again, but he has a chance to win 50 fights. 50 states. That's a interesting number. Is there a division going on here? I mean, I've already explained the division because when you start to chop up and divide a reality, you make it dualistic. You make it a dual fight. Even though the reality isn't dualistic at all, it's just a single. There you are. There's your thought. There's your whole reality. It just happens to exist. There it is. But the way that the inorganic system operates is by um, pushing, making and having energy exist in what is perceived in a dualistic way. Well, it's civil war. It's all this black and white thing that's going on. It's always the checkerboard, the dualism. Now, Conor McGregor. There's a the what is the fight line on it? 33. Was it? Oh, was it 33? No. On another page, I think it was 3,300. He'll throw he'll throw an elbow in the match. Hmm. Technical decision. I think it was like 3,500 was on the ending in a technical decision or a disqualification on another site. Nonetheless, it's isn't that an interesting concept? Somebody just told me that Mayweather's last speech was like, "I'll die a fighter." Well, as much energy that's gone into this and the debate and the politics and the media and how people view this fight and what it has to do with the country of the United States and his possible 50 wins and the 50 states and the Civil War. This is all a multi-leveled textured thing with the hurricane as well. Like there's buildups of energy, and that you have to understand the weather modification that's occurred on this planet for a long time. They create the weather. They're weathermen. They're rainmakers. Um, Floyd Money Mayweather, Eminem, 33. They're they're making um, they're using inorganics to create what appears to most people that are confused and deluded to the general population. They think these things are really like organically happening, and they're not. But what would be the chances that Conor McGregor, the the egregore elbows Floyd in the face and kills him in the ring. Like, I put air quotes around that because that's, Floyd Mayweather said, "I'll die a fighter." What's the chances? What happens there? He elbows him and kills him in the ring. Imagine that. Wouldn't that be the fire starter for this country? Like, to amp up that whole agenda that they've been pushing for forever. There's a race happening. There's racism. Even though there's only one species on this planet, we're all human. We're all human gods. Infinite creative potential sources of life and light and energy. But we'll just divide it up. And this is the technique for showing it to the masses, to the mass. Like, you go to church, you're in mass. It's the ass of something. It's the bulk, the pulp. The bulk is the weight that's in the ground, right? The density. So what they're creating is it's just a show. But how does that work if that happens? What do you think? Y'all think that might happen? I think that's a pretty, if someone was scripting this out and they wanted to encourage and cause energy to be put into a system, whatever that, we've tried to explore and explain to people before what the inorganic system is, what the two types of, one is a living and one is a dead system. I mean, it's the same thing. One's going up and one's going down. It's just density. But in this system, the way it works is, here's this story, and it's going to be, the storyline is going to be, it gets overlaid. Again, we've got his name, what they use as name and symbology. The symbol on Conor McGregor, he's an egregor. The number of wins that's possible here. Like, all of these things, the weather, the civil war that they're talking about. All of this is, all the storyline is all written on top of each other. Now, can those storylines be changed? Can these inorganic systems be altered by our awareness and consciousness? This is where it gets loony. It gets crazy. It gets, well, not crazy. It's just kind of fun. It's interesting. How powerful are we? Could we change what was supposed to happen in that ring? Do we have any control over that? Or are we just going to sit here and we just sit and watch it? Either way, I mean, it's for people that just know it's a show and don't, and then great, there it is. There's the show. Have fun watching it. That's what it all is. But on another level, what if you could control it? What if you could, like, man, nobody wants a civil war. Nobody's really racist. Nobody's like, these are all silly things. Nobody. It's like, hey, we're all family here. See, it's simple. Could we just go, no, this is we're going to change something in the reality matrix with our minds, because mind created your mind, my mind, all of the infinite the infinite subconscious mind. It creates the whole background for reality. I'll say it that way. You think it's this is a couple ideas for people. I don't know. I think that would be an interesting result. I mean, from knowing that it's just a game, it's interesting and funny. But to everyone else that thinks that this thing here, the show, the boxing ring, squaring the circle and the circling the square and back and forth, creating what you'd call as time, these Saturn time lords. If the people that don't know that it's a show, they're gonna be like, whoa, this, I knew it. That's crazy. That he fucking killed that man, is what they'll think. They'll see the fight happen on the screen and an elbow connects to someone's face, and what racial divide that they've already built up into this fight. But if we just go, no, we're not going to accept that. It's just, no. That doesn't speak to who we are as a species, as a people. It doesn't speak to our humanity, our godliness, our whatever. It doesn't speak to that. We can't be just told a story and one event on a television, that is going to be that's already all hyped up, or it's just a fight and somebody wins, somebody loses. That's about what it should be. But there's gambling, there's Vegas, there's energy, there's a flux of all of that energy into this. I mean, just like every other moment, just like this is where I transition to try to give you like every other day, every other moment, every other time in the whole entire spectral vibration of the universe. We're creating realities, and we'd have to just go, no, we don't accept this one. This one's not. This doesn't speak to what we are. We'll talk soon, y'all.